What's up, family? I'm War Smith, and this is BNN 247, the real voice of Black USA, where truth meets empowerment. Today, we are talking about communication a second week in a row, because it's so important that you and I and the rest of our people learn how to communicate better together than apart. I promise you, this conversation should shift how you think more about communicating. If you believe it's real dialogue and real solution, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that I will be there button. I want to introduce to some and present to others my friend and my co-host, Mr. Claude Foster. How are you, Mr. Claude?
Hello, my brother. How you doing? What day is this? Is this the last Sunday of Black History Month?
I don't know. We got to make this the big boy today, boy. It's been
You
a
know we
minute.
got the we got the shortest month of the year.
Yeah,
I think this is it.
this is the last Sunday. This is, I got a calendar right here. This
I
is the
think
22nd. Yeah, this is the last Sunday of the month.
yeah, last Sunday.
This is the last Sunday of Black History Month. And for most of us, we had an opportunity to go out and do some things
You know
in
when
our
when
Black History Month. My total input is what you see now. I every month that I do this show, I come online with I wear my African stuff, and that's what it is, and I like it. If you don't like it, I can't help you. So I hope you do, TikTokers and our YouTube subscribers. What you say, Claude? Your volume is somewhere gone. Turn it up. Turn your volume up. It's not beeping. I don't see. I got three dots that show me how your volume level.
it's all the way up.
Yeah, I got you now. I hear you. Go ahead. You were saying something. I was introducing you, and you were saying something about coming on in. You hear me? You crossed out your mic again. Hit the mic. Uncross your mic. Open up your mic. It's got a line through it. Your computer said, Claude, I'm gonna mess with you today, just like mine did too. I had to go all the way back out and come all the way back in. So, audience, please forgive us. We got some technical difficulties today. We're gonna do our best to get it back together and get it back online. You still got the mute button on. When I look at it right here, I see your mute button, Claude. We are working it. We ain't the technician, y'all, so don't be trying to get mad at us. We just here to do our job and bring you the information for the day. It's so hard for us to communicate. And one of the things I wanted to say today was a closed mouth don't get fed. And if you don't open your mouth on the job, you ain't going to get what you want. The people are not going to thank you until you decide that you're part of the team. And you cannot be part of the team if you don't become part of the communication in that part. If you want to go to work, you just keep your mouth closed and your head down. You'll be doing that job for the next 20 years because nobody will notice you. And if you never notice that ain't a good thing always. You can hide in one place forever. But in order for you to grow, you're going to have to communicate. You're going to have to be seen, and you're going to have to be heard. And to be heard, you're going to have to communicate. And you got to get past the point where you're afraid to say something wrong. If I say we're going to ask somebody something, then I'm asking somebody something. If I say, hey, I'm going to ask somebody, I'm going to ask somebody. But if I say ask, you better not tell me I should say ask. Because you got no right to correct me based on what I say. You don't go around correcting the Hispanics and the Chinese. When they speak English, don't say a damn thing to me. I don't mean to use the profanity or anything, but damn is one other word that I can use on air. and I ain't using one today. But you have to get beyond your inner narrative, your inner self-defeatist attitude. You gotta go for the gusto and go get what you want. I don't know how else to say it, Claude. You know, I'm just saying it like it is. We gotta go to the next level when it comes to communication, and we're not there yet.
Well, I don't think we have the comfort level in the workforce or in the workplace to express ourselves, to communicate honestly and openly. I mean, you've had situations at work where you've tried to communicate and lost some status at your job. So black folks tend to go to work and keep the communication down because they got a low profile.
Why you
They
think
they don't want to speak truth.
because they're gonna lose status? Or what?
No, because well, when you say communicate in what way?
Well, let's say both of us work at the same place, we do the same job. Every day, I make it known that I speak to people, that I identify what's going on in the warehouse, or in the office, or in the hospital, or wherever we may be working. I tell my boss, I talk to him, and I say, hey, I handle the things that need to be handled. I do this every day. But you come to work every day, and you make sure you speak to the boss, and you bring the boss coffee or some bull stuff like that. You do all these little things to get yourself known in the office, and then they know, oh, that dude right there. He take care of me. I like working with him. Who gonna get that next promotion? The one who take care of all that stuff out there in the field, or the one who bring it?
Well, historically, the one that's in the big house,
The one
the
that
one
brings
that's
that coffee, right?
the one that bring that coffee, the one that smile, the ones that laugh at the right time.
Stupid jokes.
Yeah,
Those are the ones who promoted. And I'm gonna
you gonna be labeled. Your form of communication gonna be labeled a troublemaker.
yeah. When you open your mouth, I believe that my effort and my actions spoke for me. I didn't have to tell you that I was a great employee. You can see it from my production because I did everything that I was told to do. As a private, got to do that anyway. But I did it. I fighting about it because I knew this was going to get through where we were. So you do what you have to do to get where you have to go, but you don't lose who you are inside. You may be somebody different at that job, but when you walk off that job, you're back to who you really are. I don't mean be something, be a butt, this or none of that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you go to that job for one reason only. You ain't looking for friends. You ain't looking to make copies. You go in there make money with your family. Otherwise, you in the wrong place. You go in there and make money to support your family. And in order to make money to support your family, you can't make $10 an hour for the next 5 years. You're gonna have to make $10, $12, $14, $16, $25, $35. You have to make everything you can make for your family because it depends on the level of their acceptance to society. If your kids, your wife, don't have a decent car to drive, your kids don't have clean clothes to wear to school, nappy hair, all because you didn't coach with your work, and somebody else got the promotion that gave you a $30,000 raise.
So I mean, so you look at communication as a way for an advancement. So you're saying that you do. So the guy that's smiling, bringing the coffee, and basically just being a, a good N word versus a hard working N word. You're saying the good N word. You're saying the hard working N word is gonna advance quicker than the you know the
I'm saying, we're gonna wait till Clark comes back. I'm saying that person who's laughing and acting like a good old boy will be the one that get promoted. You know that, and I know that. That's how it works in America. I'm so sad about it. I was looking at how the Supreme Court come back today and said that we would not honor this tariff thing that DT has been doing. So when they put out their ruling, he goes back and comes up with some more stuff, and he puts 15% tariffs on everybody. So what good is the Supreme Court when we only got one man in the world that will disrespect our Constitution at the level it's being disrespected? I don't mean to just bring that out. He's communicating, and he's putting stuff out there, but he is disrespecting our Constitution of the United States of America. And it hurts when you see a million of people that can sit down and laugh about it. This perverted, low down scoundrel leading every single citizen in this country is our boss. How do you feel having a boss that's a pedophile?
who we talking about?
Huh?
You talking about the president, your president?
Ooh, I slipped out of communication into DT.
Who you talking about? Your president?
Not mine. He's the one representing this country, but I refuse to say he represents me because his representation is not.
So I take it
Like
we not going to encourage our listeners to watch the State of the Union on Tuesday.
we should watch it. I watch all the State of the Unions every time you want to say something. It hurts. It really does. You see him read that thing, he's like this here. What's family? Peaceful family. I'm born within the last 2 minutes. And this is about, that's how you read the teleprompter. And he don't look the teleprompter. He's down on the podium. And what I want to know what he's doing. He never looks up. If he looks up, he stops. And he'll look up, say something stupid, and then start back again.
So he lacks any kind of communication skills, but yet he's president of the United States of America.
This is the worst communication, in my time that I've ever seen with any country. Who alienates your ally?
Well, how did he communicate to 78 million? How did he communicate to 78 million people to vote for him? What kind of communication?
Empty dream. He did what we do. People going in the military, sell them an empty drink. That's what we do. We sell them the intangible. He sold all these people across America that voted for him nothing. We're gonna clean this country. We're gonna get rid of all. That's a big lie. You cannot. It's impossible. It's impossible. I don't care what you do. You cannot get rid of every immigrant. You can't do it.
No, it's kind of hard. We're a nation of immigrants. Yeah.
No, Ukrainians back over there. You want to get rid of immigrants?
Yep. Most of his cabinet are immigrants.
He's probably his daddy is an immigrant. His daddy is an immigrant and a Klansman. And he ain't even hesitate to show it. He don't like black people, and he don't care about black people unless you're bringing something to him. Everybody has to bring something to him to get anything. All those people standing behind him talking about this world of peace summit or some kind of BS like that.
And what do you think about the fact that he made himself president for life of the World of Peace? It's his organization, and he's going to be the only president.
That's the Donald Trump I know. I do not get past, but what I do, I don't understand, and I admit it, I don't understand this. How can all of us be standing up there supporting him?
Well, in terms of communication,
Mm,
could there ever be a black Donald Trump?
yes.
You think so?
You give Tim Scott a chance, he'd be a black Donald Trump. What's the man, Sleepy Joe, that sergeant that keeps his eyes closed? He'd be a black Donald Trump. You give AC Watt, he'd be a black Donald Trump. A couple more of them, what is it, Herschel Walker, he'd be a black Donald Trump. He'd be a spitting image, especially Herschel Walker. He'll be doing exactly what Donald Trump tell him to do.
Well, we're going to have to disagree. I don't think there's a black person in America can do
That can be that cruel.
that can be a that can get away with a black as a black
You just
person.
get away with it.
What
That's
Donald Trump is
cool.
doing.
Ain't no black man gonna get away
Donald
with
Trump said,
it.
"I don't give a."
One thing instead of getting 34 felonies, they can get one.
Donald Trump said, "I don't give a f if the Supreme Court members don't show up at
You don't care.
the State of the Union."
Tell me that's not disrespectful.
A black person would never be that disrespectful in their communication.
How can you be that disrespectful in the White House? Your departments in the White House there because you're there to support the country, but you're not supporting the country. You're working for Donald Trump, and you're doing Donald Trump deeds. You have messed over hundreds of people because Donald Trump told you to do stuff. And you have no, I don't see how you go home and face your children.
Is,
Face your
deco-
wife, your husband.
is decorum anywhere in the Constitution?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I'm pretty sure there's a number that you have to obtain to get any vote anywhere, except for an executive order. You just have to say it so, but it's only good for 30 days mandatory. After that 30 days, Congress has the power to kill it. So they have not killed a single executive order of Donald Trump. Not one.
They scared to.
Yeah, they're scared. And any one of them that say a single word, if somebody says something against me, I say, well, that's your opinion. But if you say something against Donald Trump, you got to face Pam Bundy. Because she coming at you. It's sad.
What do you think about her?
To run our country.
What do you think about her communications at the hearing?
I think Pam Bundy needs to be taken into the chicken room and dealt with. Because I am disappointed. I mean, her, that little Arab looking, I'm sorry to use it that way, but that's what he is. An Arab looking dude with buck eyes.
He cross-eyed it. No, he cross-eyed it.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Cross.
You're talking about the FBI director, right?
And the FBI director don't know left and right.
You're right.
And the FBI. The FBI ain't about DODO no more. CIA ain't about DODO no more. Who else? Pam Bundy and the Department of Justice ain't about nothing. You know, none of those Homeland Security ain't about nothing. These cities, these towns, these countries, these states, not countries. States. Look at what they're doing. Cuba is in dire state, and we're 90 miles away, and we won't send a damn gallon of steel down to Cuba. And the Secretary of State in Cuba.
Well, South America in general. We're attached to South America.
And Canada.
All the islands, Puerto Rico, we don't do nothing.
We do nothing. Now, when is he gonna go throw paper towels over there? Stupid ass. Ass and gun. Those are two words I can use.
I mean, what?
Hmm?
That he thought that he could communicate throwing tissue toilet tissue to people in the audience.
Poor people. He did though. He thought he
Well,
could do that,
well, it's
and
so
nobody
funny.
would say anything. I mean,
Nobody
Donald
did.
Trump can call somebody whatever he wants and
But
get
for
away with
him
it. I
to,
bet you he can call somebody the N word and make him make that press secretary and make it look like it's Donald Trump. That's what he does.
well, this black lady said, "Don't be talking about my Donald Trump. He's a good man."
Yeah, yeah. I heard about her because he sent somebody to her house because her son got killed by
Right.
the police. What good is that? You gonna now you gonna kiss his butt because he found you and sent somebody to your house to do exactly what you do, and you stupid enough to bite off on it.
Do you think a white person found her, or you think a black person found her?
I
Found her.
think I think his staff found her because all they're doing is searching
Do
for.
you think a black person that was involved in that? Whatever.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
can't do it without a black person. I don't know if there's anything on the planet can be done without black people being involved. Anything. You know something, let me know, because I don't know either. Not a single thing in America can be done without.
Well, if you look at history, even God rest his soul. Jesse Jackson allegedly played a part.
Well, Jesse Jackson was a soldier. Despite ups and downs, nobody. And that's what I wrote on my people today. That there's nobody. Communication ain't perfect. I might say, "Hey, Claude, get online." You might say, "Okay, I'm gonna get online," but after we go offline, you say, "Hey, man, don't ever tell me to get," because I don't get for nobody. And I'm gonna tell you what you need to get is because I just got a brand new job with the Department of Veterans Affairs, DS9, and the director of the department where I went I've been there for 6 weeks. You gonna tell me to beat this paper down the hall with somebody down there? He's white. The girls that wanted it were supposed to come get it. And I told her to get it because I ain't bringing it. Some little white heifer wouldn't come down acting like a little white heifer.
So what did he tell you?
He told me to get this paper down there to her.
Get this
She
paper.
did call him and said she needed that paper. And I told her you need to come get it, man. Because I ain't bringing it to you. I'm older than you anyway. I ain't looking for your little young.
So how did that turn out?
Well, I took the paper down there. And I came back and knocked on his door. And he come on in. And I said, I got something to tell you. I ain't gonna like it. I'm gonna tell you anyway because I can't function without not if I don't tell you. I said, don't ever tell me to get anything because I don't get nobody. And I'm gonna tell you why. And rural Mississippi. And I heard another being saying the word get the black people and a negative connotation. And I don't know my job. Okay. I don't understand, but I respect it.
So what could he have communicated? How could he have communicated that better and got the same result?
Did you take this on how? Would you take it on? He's calling me, fussing about it. Let's nip this. Would you take this down there? I gonna take it.
So he wasn't sensitive to that
Well,
racial history.
he didn't know about it.
You don't think, as a white man in the South, that he didn't know the implications of the word "get"?
Well, I ain't making excuses for nobody. Yeah, if he didn't know it,
I mean, that's admirable on your part that's admirable on your part to go in and say something to him.
most people wouldn't do it.
99% of the people in that situation would have chosen job over.
So I tell you my integrity. That's been my problem all my life.
So did that? How did that affect your job afterwards? Was he cool to you
Oh,
or?
I fought him day to day for 8 years. For 8 years, I fought with him. But I made it all the way up to GS 12, stage GS 13, but they doubled down on me. But they didn't want to see no black man before 13, and there's still no black man up over 13.
Now, what was this at? Fort
In
Sam?
Austin, right there on Wilbur Street.
Oh, okay.
The VA is not only a hospital. I work for the data center. The
Oh,
data
okay.
center brings in your information, my information, and the major job our department had was the redundancy of all VA information. It came to it went when VA information is out every single day on every single veteran, it goes to 3 different places, and you cannot stop. I mean, it's the exact same thing in 3 different locations, and each location got an extra location.
Mm.
They got redundancy. They're not gonna lose all information. I
So
ain't
what?
even the shed run round. I think that's what made them put billions of dollars into what was going on with the record system. That when they had St. Louis, that my brother record on that phone.
Yeah, a lot of records. So, what was the workforce like in terms of demographics?
93% white, probably 4% Hispanic, and 3% black.
Wow.
It was sad, man. I mean, black people was relegated to servitude type positions, not in prestigious type positions. And then somebody gonna be up here, y'all people. And I was going up there to stand to see me at the table, but I'm gonna sit at the table like I'm the president of it. And
But
if you don't want me
but
to step up or be quiet, I ain't talk.
but as you explained that, I admire the fact that you stayed calm. You took her the paperwork, and then you went in and had a conversation with her.
Mm-hmm. Let them know I'm the man exactly, but that's the same thing. Ever notice how many people act subservient on the job? Oh yes, Mr. Lily. You hear it all the time, Mrs. Yes, Mr. Lily.
Yeah.
Okay, we did it. We made it done.
But you know what used to get me when I was, have you ever been in the workplace and you're in a white collar position? Somebody, a white guy makes a racial joke, and the black people laugh.
I seen it.
How do you how do you communicate?
A white boy told me one time he forgot he was talking to me that we had been so close together, working together. He said, "Oh, so we act like a Negro now." And I just looked at him up. You don't tell me no like that. I don't care who you are. And I ain't.
I was in the workplace. Let me tell you about this situation, and it was at a meeting. It was a construction meeting, and it was a planning meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working in a council office, and we was at this planning meeting, and the construction company had to do some work in a minority community. So this one guy made the comment. He said they had bought a property. No, they had put a trailer in the community where they had to do the construction work. So he said, if I had known how cheap the houses were, we would have bought a house instead of getting a trailer. So all the black people that was in the civil engineering department laughed at the joke. He was putting down the black community, laughed at the joke. So I filed a complaint, and the complaint went all the way up the channels to where every meeting now they had to start recording. But it wasn't the fact that the white guys made the joke about the community. It was about the black folks that laughed at the joke.
That was
That laughed, that went along with the joke.
it hurt. You don't want them out right there, but it hurt.
But I call it communication fear.
Yeah. It is communication. That's a nervous thought anyway. And that's not a nervous.
But how did you like to live your life with that kind of fear?
But look around. I look at the folks that do. They live that way. They live with fear every single day. If certain, I've seen certain people come on the scene, people turn into damn mushroom. That's how far they shrink. They can be the loudest one in the room, and all of a sudden, they smaller than a mushroom. What's going on? You look around and see what the hell done happened. And here's Mr. Billy coming into the room. Boy, I get it.
So
And
Tim,
let me tell you what they do. And I'll be clear. The white man that runs the plantation, he gonna get the big buck. And this is, I was down last year, and I saw the white man came inside my house, and he had big buck in the truck with him. So he comes up there, he comes up, big buck up behind him. Got his hands on his lips, ain't saying a word. White man came up there, gonna try that for me. $20 for something. I told you that damn $20. What the hell you want to do with it? Well, I don't need it. You ain't getting it. And I said, I'll be back. Get me next year. I did it. And I did it because I want people to see that there's no reason for you to not say what's on your mind. What are they going to do? What's the worst thing they're going to do? Hang you? Are they going to tie you to a tree? They did to some of my friends.
how often do you hear?
Behind the tree, grab a cigarette, and they put them in the back of the head.
How often do you hear white people say yes ma'am and no ma'am to black folks?
I ain't never heard it.
Or no sir or yes sir.
Well, I've heard it in passing. And, you in certain places, we're world you and I. So you've heard it. But most people that grew up in the South that don't get out of the South, they don't hear it outside of what they hear every day.
So you think
It's so embedded into the character of the person from the South that you have to think yourself before you call back into it. And I have to make sure I'm on point every single time I come out the house, and I'm ready for anything that might jump off, because every time you walk around or drive around, you are going to encounter some bull stuff with them. Where I grew up. So I'm prepared all the time. I mean, 100% the time, and I recommend that to anybody that have to go through stuff like that on a daily basis. Communication is key, but if you communicate like me, they ain't gonna talk to you. I walked in the gate down there in my hometown with my niece, and this prejudiced person behind the teller, man. Here I am, E78, this teller got the audacity to ignore me and talk to my niece. I closed my account. I spent all my money. Right.
How did she ignore you? I want to hear this.
Hey, girl, who's your mama? Just like I ain't standing there in front of the damn window looking at my niece right here. And I'm right here in front of the window. But she's looking over here at my niece, smiling at her, handing her a piece of candy, got my niece's attention. What niece is not going to grab that candy? And I'm standing there looking. I ain't laughing at that.
Well, do you think maybe you was a little bit oversensitive on that situation?
Hell to me. Them mofos do this stuff all the damn time. Disrespect to a black man and disrespect to a black woman, and I'm one of them Negroes that will not have it.
So you don't think she was just being nice to your niece?
Hell no. He was not being nice.
That may be a little bit argumentative on that.
It's always argumentative. You can argue every accusation of racism you want to, and you if you have somebody that with equal argument, you're
So
gonna
you
lose.
think she was
I don't give a
ignoring?
damn how right you are.
So you don't think that she was just being nice to your niece?
No, I think she was being a cracker. And I know the people now. Now, it ain't like I don't know who it is. My sister told her. So, before I form my opinion, I got to talk to my sister who lived there every day. She told me she closed her account too because of that same lady.
Hmm.
So it's racism. So that little bank down in my hometown, damn near every black person in town closed their account. And ain't nothing in that bank but white. Even the black woman that worked there, Deborah moved from that bank. She didn't like it either.
So do you think? Do you think that in terms of us as black people in America, you still
Thank you for
think
the heart.
we have those limitations on our communications in
In
America?
the workplace?
You think we see as a group as black Americans we still have those limitations
Yes.
in our
Yeah.
communication?
Yeah.
Well, that example I gave you was 2015, so I know as late as 2015 we still have it.
Mm. Today, we still have it. But what it is, we don't want to face the music. We have to think where we are in life. Nobody, no two black people will be on the same position at the same level. There's only one place for one person. In other words, if there's two of you, there's only one place for you. The other person will be somebody else. There's no room for two of you. So you have to be who you are. You don't give a damn. I'm sorry. But nobody. You can walk around with boogers on your nose, stinking breath, matter in your eye. Who cares? It's yours. It ain't mine. You don't see no matter in mine. My teeth clean, my breath clean. No boogers in my nose. So I'm just saying, be who you are. But if you're going to be out in public, you be out there like the best professional you can be. You don't want, you're not only representing yourself, you represent me. You represent Claude. You represent somebody in North Carolina, somebody in damn Potomac. You represent people from coast to coast. Every time you look like a client. Stop looking like it. Stop it. That's all I can say. Communication is key, though. Ain't no reason for you and I to be in a fight, both of us black, if we communicate. All I gotta do is say, hey man, of course, somebody made a mistake. Somebody made a mistake. If you are the one who made the mistake, be man enough to admit it. Stop tucking your tail and lying to your peers. Because sooner or later, the truth gonna come out and you're gonna look like tell it from the start. So you don't have to remember the lie. Tell the truth. Communicate the truth. I have to stop and smile because I like down there. I think this is such an important topic for our people because we have not paid attention to how we communicate. F the Epstein file. That ain't got nothing to do with us. All 3,000 times they mention his name. Who cares?
What I found about the Epstein file and the release of the documents, there were no black women.
That ain't got nothing to do with us. Well, I could give a damn about them Epstein files. Even though I can't stand everybody in there that's implicated, they get their ass on and get locked up. Just like they did that Prince over there in England.
But do you find the absence of black women?
What's unusual about it? Who you think they? What do you think they eat?
Do I think they what?
What do you think they eat?
Well, is that racist?
Hmm? All right, Claude. The camera gonna shift a little bit, but I gotta pull this book up so you can see it.
The delectable Negro, human consumption, and
And Mortism within U.S. slave culture. This ain't the slave eating slave.
so briefly, what's the book about the delectable Negro?
Delectable Negro is about, we, our babies, our fetus. They didn't just kill people or unalive people. Excuse my language. They didn't just unalive people. They used them as food because there were prices all over. People only, you might have 10 slave farms, but only one makes $1 million out of that cotton, or one growing good cotton. Everybody else get dog dudes out of them slaves because they can't get no cotton grown. And the slaves are the ones who knew how to grow the cotton. And some of them didn't want to grow. They rather take it and try and teach them how to grow cotton. So many of them resorted to eating their slaves. Many of them. And nobody could do anything about it. They could take a baby that a woman just had, put them in the bowl, or put them on the bed. And that's what they do. That's what they did. They were known for that. So right now, out of the millions of kids coming up missing, a lot of them black kids are suffering a hell of a fate.
Wow, that's one area I hadn't looked into that.
It's
But it's not
it's
surprising.
like 470,000 kids a year get abducted. That's a lot of kids. That's 500,000 children. And many of them are not known. Not all of it. But look how much they put on this old lady out in California. They spent $100 million on her, and they still. I don't disrespect nobody. Time don't wait for nobody. You either go with it or it's gonna go against you. It ain't gonna go the way you
What do you
want.
think that? Do you think that they put all that effort and attention because her mother's kind of famous?
Absolutely. Look how many others been missing last year. And then you see a 2-3 day stay. That's why they did it. They did it because it was high news. And these news companies, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, giving you bullshit all damn day, every day, with these 24-hour news over and over. If you tell a lie, somebody gonna be able to believe it. And they will repeat that damn cycle of news 5 times a day. And people listen to it, and all they get worried. And they start prepping, and they start doing all this, all because these lying ass people on that damn talking about what's going on. And they talking about bullshit that don't pertain to us, like 15 files. I ain't nobody out here looking for her. I don't mean, forgive me, I pray for that lady. But ain't nobody out here looking. It's just a damn truth. And that's the problem. Everybody wants to say shit, politically correct shit, and act like they don't know how to say shit. If it comes up, let it out. If you're thinking it, say it. Just pick your spot. Don't go to a meeting with an idea and don't put your idea on the paper. Even though it might sound stupid in your head, it might sound like a genius to somebody else.
Yeah.
Stop harboring all that great information that you have right now. You know something that I don't know. Tell me. Help me be better. My objective and Paul's objective is just that, to help you be better with what we want to talk about every week. And this information ain't no joke. This is something you need. But people don't want to hear that shit. You can't tell me shit. I'm telling you right now. Learn it or perish. That's all I can say. The knowledge we sit out here is what helps you sustain, what helps you keep the system. You know, every system got a loophole. You just have to figure it out. And most of the time, we don't think hard enough to figure it out. We superficially consider it and not dig into it to see what the hell it is. You gotta break it. Go ahead, Claude. Say something to me. Talk to me.
No, I find what you're saying to be very, very invigorating in terms of the book you just showed me, because I hadn't. That's an area that I had never looked in myself, and then your take on the Epstein files. You know, my take on it was that it was like all the men that was involved with Jeffrey Epstein were racist.
Yeah, they shut up in that house, all them babies, and did all that dirt, and now they laughing at it. And Donald Trump, man, I don't care who they convict, you don't let them out. Now, see, if they need to keep saying what that lady did, because if they don't, Donald Trump will pardon her. And she probably got 50 young girls on her belt that's unalive right. Woo, that lady. But I don't understand where the parents of these kids.
Well, they were poor. They were.
But yeah, where were the parents? Where are they now?
Yeah, but if you were working in a high end shoe company, let's just say you working in New York, you're a teenager, you're working in one of those high end stores. They come in and tell you they can help you with their. I mean, you can easily see how people at the bottom of the well can get enticed and to go along, because none of them were kidnapped. They voluntarily went there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was convicted of kidnapping charges. So they didn't go swinging and fighting and.
So they went voluntarily, even the parents dropped them off.
Maybe that's why they didn't choose black women.
Black women want somebody's ass. They don't. Or they got 8 you know, this is such an interesting way to look at how they communicate. We have our own thing, y'all. And it damn sure ain't somebody put that title on it, it's irrelevant. We were talking about Jackson and how he caught everybody. It was 82. He came up with the term African American and Black Power.
Well, and some African Americans are starting to reject that. They're saying that I'm just an American.
And technically, you do the research, you'll find out that we've been here all along. And the objective of America right now is to conceal our identity. Because who wants to let them know or let the world already? But America is the dumbest damn country on the planet that we're all wrong. Who you know, they won't give us our stuff. If you go to Seattle, what do you got? Chinatown. If you go somewhere else, you got Germantown. If you go somewhere else, Chinese. Everywhere you go, you got ethnicity. You got represented.
Well, let me ask you a question. You had a restaurant, right?
Yeah, I had a bar, restaurant, motorcycle.
Okay, what kind of food did you serve?
I sold pork chops, chicken wings, hamburgers, fish sandwiches.
How many Hispanics came to your shop?
I had
Really?
at least, but I'd say I'd say 60-40, 60% black, 40% Hispanic.
How about Asian?
I don't know.
How about Indian?
I think there were one. We had yeah, I think there was one in it.
Why is that?
Because first thing they want to go to a black club. When white people see a concentration, black folks will get scared as hell. They ain't going there.
You think that's
They
true
think
today?
black people, white folks ain't gonna support. I guarantee you. And the reason being, because they refuse to see you doing better than them. I don't give a damn who it is. If it's a damn bum pushing cart down the street,
But look at the disadvantage. Look at the disadvantage that black
better than him.
look at the disadvantages that some black businesses have based on that scenario.
Well, it's the truth. And if you accept the truth and you modify the truth, like I said, there's a loophole for everything. Black businesses can get around this neglect of them for our business by finding that loophole. Look, they can create a snot damn sandwich and somebody will damn famous. That's how they stupid the shit that they promote. And we put something together that will help their lives grow, and they will ignore it damn cows. And only because you're black. So I know people that high-end purchasers use a white man as a front to go do all the paperwork, to sign all the paperwork, and bring it back to black, because they will not sell it to a black. And I see it happen. Like
In 2026.
no, that was like 2019.
Okay, well that's still not that long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long. You had to get a white man. There was DiBiase in that city. I ain't gonna tell you what. You know where you know where, but he's the one who he wasn't involved, but it was his city. So all I'm saying is, my people, we got along. And that lesson is, open your damn mouth, damn a closed mouth don't get big. And if you want to believe me, look at Matthew 7. What is it? Matthew 7:7. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Trust in me. Matthew 7:7. Look it up. That might be off chapter. So,
No, I mean, yeah, no, it's
it's in Matthew. All right. We have to be able to lay out that element of communication. Let me give you something that's really useful. When you're communicating, you need to have, you want to say something, you know these things. One, who you talking to? What you talking about? You already know. You already know. And how you're delivered. And if you think you can just put it in your head and walk in there one day and say it, you're a damn fool. You better stand in the mirror and rehearse that shit. And y'all gotta only use your damn shit. I might use it 25 times. What he said? Bernie Mac. We're talking about. Yeah, you better tell it to my money. That was funny. But anyway, you gotta be able to do it. You gotta articulate it. You gotta say it. And this is basically the success that you need. That's all you need to get the gap. To get the gap, we ain't on a lot of situations. You say, damn, only I can talk like that. Now I'll tell you what I learned. I used to sell machines, and that was the biggest bullshit I ever seen. You know, I sold it intangible, and I put a little over 100 people in the Army in 2 years. And I was flying every day, driving a Jeep. That's the government.
every day.
Every day. 7 days a week. I recruited 7 days a week. Met was open 7 days a week. 24 hours a day. I would take them midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, everywhere, all 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever time I can get them in the car, I'm running them down. So I go to Boston in 7 days. I probably go to Boston 8, 9 times, a couple times a day.
Wow.
Them damn candidates down there, processing them into the military. And 99% of them going in the infantry because I'm mad. Because they sent me to Worcester, Massachusetts. Ain't no damn northern. I hated the cold weather. Hated the way the
What was wrong with Worcester, Massachusetts? I liked it up there.
well, you show me a black person live.
Well, I mean,
Hey, I lived in Worcester, Massachusetts with a single black family in that city. There were Africans there. I was the only.
no, they there. You just gotta find them. Just like in Nebraska, you don't think that there's no black folks in Nebraska and Iowa, but they there.
They there. They probably are. I don't get myself.
You know, in Omaha, they're in North Omaha. You know, so they're there. You just gotta know. You know, we're everywhere. We're everywhere in this country. I went to Utah. I had a conference in Utah, and it covered like 5 states, right? You know how many black folks was at that conference from 5 states?
200-300
34.
out of how many?
I don't know what the total population was.
This was lived there.
No, this was the NAACP conference, and it was the regional conference for that region, and I was a guest speaker. And what it is, they combined it. They had like Utah, you know, those states, right? And instead of going from like one room to the next to talk in different groups, it was funny because the same people, the same group would just follow you from room to room because it was just 34 of them.
And all
the
the
point was that was
together.
all black folks. Yeah, it wasn't that many black folks.
That's good. That's
Utah, Oregon, Washington State, you know, those far west states. Ain't too many of us out there.
No, it ain't. One thing I learned, you ever notice how you might go to something and people don't know they study?
Don't know what?
They don't know their study. They up there passing around thinking you don't know they subject either. But
Right.
you know subject better than they do. And they up there trying to teach you the subject. And they don't know. I ran into
Right.
people that try and present themselves like that. And most of the time it ain't us.
True.
You know, one thing about communication, you talk about what you know, and you don't talk about what you don't know. You can say, hey, I'm gonna say what I know, but hey, if I don't know, I don't know. I appreciate you for telling me. So
Right.
talk about what you know. That's number one rule in communication. Number two, you want to make sure that you're not so insecure of what you're talking about where you over explain what you're talking about. You know, you see this right here. This is an ink pen, and if you notice, it's got the little ball on the clip. And this little clip here was designed by a black man from Indonesia who said that his ink pen kept falling down in his shirt, and the spot kept messing up his shirt. So he said he had to come up with a way to keep that from happening. So he took a paper clip, tied it around his ink pen, and put a little clip on it, and put it in his pocket. And somebody saw it that had a manufacturing company, and at that manufacturing company, they built the clip onto an ink pen. There you go. You know, we got clip ink pens. That's why every ink pen, or most ink pens, either it's on the cap or on the ink pen, will come with a cap. I just took that 8 minutes and said that. I don't know how long it was, but I'm just making up dumb shit. I'm just gonna tell it like it is.
Oh, you just made that up?
I just made that up. I just picked the pen up and started talking. Just over explaining. This here. This is a pen. Why should I have to take 2 or 3 minutes to tell you what this is? It's unnecessary. Don't over explain.
But that was a good explanation though.
Yeah, but
You had me.
do I need all that? I don't need to know about all that damn clip. All I need to know is you're gonna tell me that this is an ink pen. All right, it is an ink pen. I got you. Move on. I don't want to hear all
Well,
them
but
deep.
but but, but communicate. I mean, you could say that's a snake, but there's a poisonous snake and there's a snake that are not poisonous. So
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
if
tell
you
you.
say that's just a snake,
All right,
yeah.
what did Muhammad Ali say about snakes? He's about the 10,000 snakes. He said, "You see 10,000 snakes coming at you." That's what he said. He said, those snakes like black people. However, out of that 10,000 snakes, there's 3 of them in there that can't stand y'all black ass. So what you think gonna happen? Are you gonna let all the snakes come to you? Or and hope that the 3 that don't like you gonna be at the backside or pass on by? Or are you gonna say, well, I ain't trusting none of these snakes. None of y'all getting by me. Not one. And that's how you gotta look at America. Not one of these snakes can get by you.
So is that how you look at white folks?
No. I would say that's how I look at life.
Okay.
I ain't letting no snakes by. I guarantee you that. You know, the Catholic Church. You're not Catholic, are you?
No.
Okay. The Catholic Church told the Belgian army to get rid of the snakes.
To get rid of the what?
The snakes.
Oh.
However, in Belgium, it wasn't white people. Guess who lived there? Pygmies. The pygmies. It was over 2 million pygmies living in Belgium for thousands of years. The Pope told this army, the Belgian army, to get rid of the snake. So they go to Belgium and they kill all these pygmies, over 2 million. They killed them, took the land. So when you go to Belgium, you find bodies all over that place. It belonged to pygmies. That's something. That's history. Wipe out an entire culture. In another book that I like is this book. This book right
I've
here.
seen it. Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen
This
that.
book here will give you so much information about how they got where they are and why we are where we are. And that'll give you proof that we were here already. We've been here. Some of us from Africa. Matter of fact, everybody from Africa. But we were here.
Yeah, but see, most Europeans think that the only part of Africa that was civilized was Ethiopia. I mean Egypt. I'm not Ethiopia. Egypt.
Yeah. They never traveled inland. And when they did, them Zulus start tearing them up. Get in there. The Zulus killed over 100,000 soldiers. Every time they set up their little camp, they knock them down. Had them Zulus a mile across the top of the mountain. They'd be scared. I was funny. Listen how I talk. I heard what I said. They be real scared. Black talk. And don't tell me it ain't the way you say that.
Yeah.
Say it the way you want to, and I say it the way I want to. And I was around white folks 100% of the time, 5 days a week. Every day I was in that office. I was dealing with somebody white on one end or the other. And the moment I have to check them and put them in place, all they had to do was go to my boss and complain, and then my boss would act like I got a problem.
I was gonna say, did you get labeled?
Yeah, because I ain't take no shit. None.
So
Don't tell me with no bull. I told somebody, get out my fucking cubicle. Excuse my language. but I did. My boss, I told him to get out of my cubicle. Now immediately the lead, it wasn't the boss, it was the lead. And he come in here and he said,
But did you get labeled? Did they say because you was from Mississippi, or you just paranoid, or I mean, did they lay the South
no,
experience?
this is what happened. All right, I asked for, I wanted to do higher dollar contracts. Like I'm doing $1 million contracts now. I want to do the 100 million.
The
I
big
want to
one.
buy a whole damn computer room or some shit like that. So I asked to work on certain projects. He said, okay. I asked my supervisor, main me. Next thing I know, this is like April in the year. He comes to my desk with 19 folders, big contracts. All right, here you go. You asked for some more work. I got it right here. I started looking through them damn things and they all tore up. Now, a contract, a government contract, you cannot let a government contract in 5 days. It's going to take you 5 months. You cannot let a contract in 30 days, unless you dedicate 100% of your time to that one contract, and then you got your other 20 contracts that's falling behind. Because every single day you got to touch all your contracts every day. With all of 19 contracts, with my additional load that I already had, I told him that's too much. I'm not doing all that. So now he got grounds to say I'm not doing my work. So that's how they set me up to try and get me. You ain't getting me. I'm taking FMLA. I took FMLA for 6 months and decided I ain't going back. I told him I quit.
Yeah. Why does it take government contracts so long to?
Because you got so many rules and regulations. Have you seen the federal acquisition regulation?
No.
It's about that thick. And each time you write a contract, you have to pull out the actual clause that's pertaining to that contract. And there's a clause in almost every chapter. So you got almost every chapter represented in that contract with whatever part of that, whatever paragraph or something that applies to what you're doing. So before you can let a contract, you got to know that chapter. They got what they call a federal acquisition regulation boot camp. I went to boot camp. Just learn. You have to learn that damn book. And then you put a lot of keys on the key ring. Instead of you putting keys on the key ring, you put chapters on the key ring and keep it with you.
Where?
Contracting ain't no joke. Because if you mess around and let that contract and it went to the wrong damn person, you're gonna pay. And because these contractors was fluke. I did it on a contract with Bear County, and it was just me and the scrap dealer down there on Probank Street. He ended up winning. No, he didn't win, but he told us to be down there like 9:30 in the morning. I get there at 9:15, walks in the conference room. Guess who already in there and almost done with their meeting? Damn contracting officer in that scrap dealer.
I've heard that happening. I know that happened.
What shit is this? What the fuck I'm here for? Y'all did this already. So, oh, we didn't start the meeting. No, you didn't start the meeting, but you're gonna say the same thing you just said to him, and whatever else you said, you need to say that too. That's what I told the contractor. And I said, at the end of the meeting, I said, you know what? I ain't gonna fight with you. I'm just gonna protest. Well, I filed a protest on that lawsuit. It was like 400,000.
So you had a what was the contract for?
Okay, I had a building, and all that contract was to remove excess furniture when they replaced the furniture from Bear County, from any building in Bear County where they want to replace the furniture. It was my job to remove it. And I wanted to do that. I would go. I had it all set up where I can get a truck, get people, send them over to the building, unload the building, bring it over to my where I had the club. I had a big warehouse. It was automotive stuff. I put the furniture in there, give it to the people, and now I go get the next. That's what I wanted to do. Pull all that
How
shit
much?
out.
How much was the contract for? What was
About
the monetary?
50,000, something like that, 500,000. I started out like that. The highest one I won was probably 15,000 $dollars. They wouldn't give me nothing big, and I got 100 contracts I bid it on for the city of San Antonio and Bear County, and I still got the folders to each contract I bid in, and I didn't win. I used the systems, I used everything. I got all my certifications. I even went to them in person and talked to somebody from San Antonio Housing
What
and
was you
said,
gonna do?
I want to get a contract. Right before they built Wheatley Court. This was before they built Wheatley
Oh,
Court. We
okay.
had
So
a meeting at St. Philip. And at St. Philip, we had this David, that was his name. This guy named David that worked at San Antonio Housing stood up in the auditorium at St. Philip. And when I was at the mic, and I said, I want to get a contract. He said, well, you have to have your paperwork in order. I said, my paperwork is been in order. He said, well, you have to have some experience. How the hell am I gonna have experience when I'm trying to establish my company? How much experience do you want? Years. How? You've given me the impossible. You telling me I can't get no city contract? I can't get one from you, from your company, from that San Antonio Housing? Well, if you ain't got 4 or 5 years of experience now, just that simple.
wow.
Like he was just like Donald Trump on an issue.
So how? So how? Where was you gonna get the experience at? What? What?
You don't need experience when you know. I know logistics. That's
Yeah.
my profession, and he knew that. I can deal with any. You can give me anything from A to Z, from any size
But
level.
did you communicate that to him that was your profession? That's
Yeah, he knew. I had a one-on-one with him a long time ago.
was this a black person or
Now, he's like a Venezuelan. He's not Mexican, but you know they bring all those damn Venezuelans in and Brazilians in and Caribbean people in with the accent and put them over all this stuff, give them big jobs, and they can't even fucking communicate. You don't even know what they're talking about. What they tell me to do that. What the hell you talking about? I said, look, I told him one time, I said, look at here, Carlos, that was his name. I need you to codify what the hell you talking about, because I don't understand. Ooh, he got so mad at me, man, he left the room. That's all right. He started talking all that shit. So we went out in the bay, and he still was talking shit. So he came up to me with face to face, and
How did that make you feel though?
I was enjoying. He couldn't fuck with me. Excuse my, I keep saying that. I don't mean I'm sorry. He could not mess with me. I stood. We met in the bay. Came out of my office where we had a meeting at. We came down to the bay because I was a warehouse supervisor. I had 34 people, and he walked up to me, and he was saying, "Do this." Well, no, he didn't say sorry. He said, "Don't you do that?" You know, he's saying all this stuff, and I said, "You know what? I don't know, Carlos. Just write it down and tell me about it, because I don't know what you're talking about." Ooh, he got mad. He got so mad where he took his finger and put it in my chest. And he put it in my chest and poked me.
That was the wrong way to communicate, wasn't it?
Huh?
That he made a mistake on that kind of communication, didn't
Yeah, because I was already ahead of him a long way. And I stepped back and said, I feel threatened. I said it as loud as I could say it. And that's all it took. I got him 2 weeks vacation.
he? Well,
That's all I wanted to do to get him a vacation. But see, after I did that, I'm a target now. I'd say 6 months later, I was laid off.
damn.
Not only me though, it was like 300 some people got laid off, but
Right.
they laid off our entire department. with good reason. And I know the reason, but we ain't got that kind of time. But it was a great reason for them to lay that group off.
Well, you're pointing out that communication can be wrought with danger. I mean, I
It,
can tell you stories because
you say what you think, and you can get in trouble. Go ahead.
yeah, because what you say depends on the relationship and the experience of the person that you saying it to. Because you could say words. If I say something to you, may not mean that much, but if those same words could be viewed as a threat to somebody else,
And then when you use
especially
it,
if you're a black male,
so
you
let's say
really have to walk a
we
thin
have a
line.
conversation, right? And you making a sentence, and one word in that sentence I don't know. So how do you know when you get to that one word in that sentence that who you talking to might not know? How do you know? Do you know how do you know? I'm gonna tell you how you know if you don't know. You don't
How do
know?
you how do you know?
You
Oh,
just study conversations and what happens. Say a word that I don't know. I know you know one. Something that you probably think I wouldn't know. Say something.
uh,
Anyway, because what I'm
okay.
gonna do,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can't think of the word.
all right.
I know you don't
You'll
know
get
it.
it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell you how I know when a person don't know what the word means that I'm saying. TikTok, I want you to hear this. The word that I'm about to use, or the system that I'm about to use, don't tell nobody. I'm telling you, it's a secret. Now, I got a couple of secrets I'm gonna tell you right quick. Number one, when a person you say a word that a person don't understand, you particularly watch two things. When you're talking, you watch that person's eyes. What does the eyes do? They're gonna either go left or right. That's one. Number two, they're gonna do this right here. If they start nodding their head and trying to see what's going on down on the floor or something, they don't know what that word is. So you might want to get deeper in your explanation. And that's where it goes to number two, where it says, don't over explain, but explain enough so everybody understands. And number three, you have to realize that nobody's perfect. Everybody make mistakes. So, like I said in the beginning of our talk today, if I tell or if I ask Claude to ask somebody what time it is, what are you going to do? You ask somebody what time it is, but then you're not going to come back and say, "Hey, bro Smith, you should have said ask." The word is ask, not ax. Ax is the one you use to chop wood with. And my response would be, well, thank you for pointing something out that I already know. That's what I'm going to say. But and move on and keep on moving. I'm not going to get twisted around the axle about what he just said. So know your subject. Don't over explain it. And nobody going to say it perfectly all the time. Everybody can make mistakes. And you, as a black person, should do two things: not laugh, because we always like to laugh at our black people when they make mistakes. And that hurts. I'm just being real. It hurts. Don't make a mockery out of your friends all the time. People
Well,
don't like that shit.
well, I will say that your dress has a lot to do with your communication.
The level of communication or just communication.
Just communication, period. The way you
You know what
dress.
I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Clark, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you. What are you saying?
You know what I'm saying, though. You know how we talk when you say, you know what I'm saying? You say three words. The monkey jumped over the goat. You know what I'm saying? And the cows got choked. You know what I'm saying? And the sweet potato took a roll down to the old choke. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember that story. You heard it before, right?
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
the other one, I count these things when I communicate with people. I count, you know what I'm saying? It gives me a level indicator.
a
Up,
level.
up, up, Give me a level indicator. If you saying a lot, I was moving or I was trying to go down, I was going with. You know, when you're doing all that, nobody wants to hear you. Nobody want to hear you say, you know what I'm saying? And don't no Negro come up to me and say, you follow me? I ain't following no Negro. So don't say that to me. Because I'm going to tell you right away. And I'm sorry if you don't like it, but you don't say certain things to certain people.
How about how about understand what I'm saying?
Like if Claude was here every week, on, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have our conversation and laugh, but that ain't the conversation I'd be wanting to have. You know, I'd like to have a conversation on another level.
But there are certain ways that we as black people do communicate that's different.
Like what? What do
Know what
you
I'm
mean?
saying? Know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do when you say you know what I'm saying?
You're supposed to say, yeah, yeah,
So when somebody talking to you and they just brabbling off, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So in the middle of all of that stuff they're saying, you know what I'm saying? So they keep your head going like this here.
yeah, because
Huh?
normally the person there's a commonality that goes with a person. No, you know, if a black person's talking to you, there's a commonality of your blackness. So when a person says, "You know what I'm saying," he's saying culturally,
So I
"You
just
know what I'm saying."
like,
You know. Now, if you was talking to a white guy and you said, "You know what I'm saying," he would say, "No, I don't know what you're saying," because you have no cultural identity. You have no cultural relationship.
that's true.
So when they say now, but dressed, but communication is more than what you say. Is how you look. Is
So so what do you mean how you look? Do you mean suit and tie, hat, shoes?
yeah, because when I was working for the NAACP and I talked to different audiences, you come there, you got khakis on, you maybe got on a shirt, and you just look preppy. If you're talking to a black audience, you're you're too they they're turned off by the way you're dressed. So they won't hear a word that you're saying until they hear a word that you're saying, and then they're not turned off anymore. Because once you start talking, they determine whether you are authentic or not. So there's a lot that go into communication.
People reading all kind of signs.
All kind of, and I think it's even more difficult for African American communicators.
And one thing we always think when we communicating with them that we gotta have facts. You ain't gotta have no facts. You ain't gotta have the truth. You can tell lies and still be right. Ask DT.
And communication can be nonverbal. I pulled, I pulled into this. I was in the neighborhood. I pulled into this service station. I was in BMW.
Mm.
A guy was coming the other way, pulling into the same service station like this. I was coming in. He was coming in.
Mm.
Based on what I was driving and the way I was dressed, he was gonna shoot me. Until I threw up my hand and said, "I'm sorry," with my lips.
He pulled
He,
out a gun.
he put the gun back in his lap and drove on off. We had a pastor on the freeway here. I guess he cut off somebody on the freeway,
Mm-hmm.
and they shot him. And I don't think he was a minister, but
I had that something
they
like
didn't shoot him because he was a minister. They
mm.
shot him based on class. The person that shot him thought that he probably thought that he was better than him.
Yeah, because right now you're saying it ain't about race, it's about class. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's about the way we communicate.
Okay. Does class have anything to do with it? Though?
It depends. I
Mm,
mean, if you're in a situation, class has everything to do with it.
mm.
You know,
I
what
think
you think?
class has everything to do with it too, because you go to the north side and talk to some black people here, right? You're gonna already in the back of your mind say, well, these are some uppity Negroes. They're a little bit better quality, higher quality. And I'm not talking like they're commodities. I'm talking like I'm a realist, and I'm just saying you can call it what you want, but it's tomatoes, tomatoes. So you got a better quality Negro on the north
Well, but is it a better quality Negro or the,
huh?
so? Is it a better quality Negro or is it? Why do you say they're a better quality Negro? Because
I,
of where they live.
I say a better quality Negro so I can quantify the position I'm using to go to the north side.
Okay.
And I'm going to the north side in my best suit, my white shirt, my tie, my hat, my shoes, and I'm going to drive in a better car. But on the same token, I'm going to do a presentation at the gym down at the YMCA in the middle of the black community. What am I going to wear? I ain't wearing a suit and tie. I'm gonna throw on some sneakers and probably a gym suit, you know, and going up in there and do what I got to do. And hopefully, because my shoes and gym suit ain't raggedy, I get the same respect. It's different. Even when you go to the gym, when you go to the gym, you see all these women up in there with their skin tight, stuck all up in their butt. They got the booty catchers. You gotta forgive me. Lord. They go with the booty catchers.
You know, a lot of men go to the gym because women go to the
Booty
gym.
catchers on too. Oh, I'm saying, you got the men and women in there with the booty catchers on. So we ain't being prejudiced.
Yeah,
And are they sending signals? Are they communicating to you?
in a non-verbal way. Yeah.
Boy, this is some nice outfits here. You see it? So when you might be going to church and you see, I know this woman ain't wearing this damn see-through dress in church. And they do. I know this woman ain't got them 6-inch heels on in this church and that tight dress around her knees where she can't even walk.
What goes through your head when you see that?
Help.
That is if you think that she don't know the difference, or do you think it's deliberate?
Hmm?
When you see that kind of dress on a woman in church,
What am I thinking?
yeah,
What pew she's on and what person up there in the pulpit talking to her. I watch her and see who she's looking at and stuff. I'll find out something. Do your little investigations if you need to. But I've seen it so
but
much that
you
I stopped going to church.
but you see that in the country. I mean, in the city, you don't see that in the country.
No, you don't. You see the ladies in white with the gloves on and the hat, white scarves on their hair. It's real professional. And everybody coming in that church dressed appropriate.
Right.
In the city, people come as they are. I was at a funeral and I saw a guy walk in with his house shoes on, his pants sagging, looking ugly, hair messed up, like he just smoked a joint, and walked up to the front and walked back out.
Yeah.
People don't care. No self-respect. We have to get But Claude, we've been on a little over an hour and a half, quite a while. We've had a great conversation today. You got any closing remarks?
Just to remind people that we're in the election cycle. Early voting's going on, and voting's going to go on until Friday of next week, and then March. I think March 3rd is it? Is the primary elections. A lot of state. So I would encourage people to get out there. Supposedly Democrats are out voting Republicans, but there are more Democratic candidates on the ballot. So you got more people voting because you got more candidates running. Is that going to be true in November, where you're not going to have as many Democrats on the ballot, but are all those same Democrats going to come back out in November? That's always been the problem in Texas. So let's stay on top of it, folks.
I have a confession.
What's that?
My bad habit because of my communication skills. I'm thinking I can't communicate because I'm from rural Mississippi and I didn't know anything. So I never said anything in meetings. I was quiet a lot and anxious, having anxieties about talking or bringing up a question. I may think, oh, that's a question I'm not going to ask.
Wow.
So I did learn the biggest thing that you have to know when you have that type of fear. And I'm telling you what it is. It was fear. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't
But
like
what? But
talk.
what made you aware of that? What made you conscious of that?
Constant listening at everybody, every single word, breaking down sentences of what people say, and seeing the level of language people speak.
Hmm.
And I learned. I had to learn because I could not teach classes for 14 years. I was a concealed handgun instructor for 14 years. And I graduated over 700 people, all qualified, not just by looking at it, by going to the range.
So let me ask you a question.
What?
So you say you listen to other people, right?
Hmm.
So what? So you're saying that was it the education system in Mississippi, or was it what was it that made you
I don't think
doubt?
it was the education system because we presented some really good scholars out of there. I think it was my apathy about going to school. I did
Hmm.
not, because we were bused to high school for 4 years, and I didn't like it.
So okay.
I didn't like it. And I didn't go to school. I'd cut class, go behind the gym, smoke weed, and do all kinds of stuff rather than go to class. Then I took a job at night, working damn near from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., and then getting on the bus at like 8 or 7:30 a.m. and sleeping in Miss Shorter's class all day, and ended up getting up and had to go to summer school. I quit that job after about 3 days. I couldn't do it. I was working all night, sleeping all day in school.
Hmm.
And I didn't like going to school. I didn't like picking up a book at all. I hated reading. I was just bad. But in elementary school, see, I had a traumatic situation that pissed me off so bad. It changed my trajectory in life for good. And that was in the seventh grade. I could. I was an A student. From first to the seventh grade, everything. You know,
Hmm.
even the eighth grade, A student. I was good at. I was in the top of the class everywhere I went. Going to elementary school.
Cause schools were integrated when you went through, right?
Yeah, it was, but we was only black in my school. We ain't had none of them. My elementary school, we ain't had none of them. My high school, we ain't had none of them.
There were no white folks in the city.
Yeah, plenty. They had their own school.
But I thought you said it was integrated.
It was by law. But
But
you
there
walk
were.
up there, I bet you wouldn't find no white one in my school. And you walk over there, you couldn't find no black one in there.
Well, it wasn't too
We
much.
we chose not to go to that school. But the federal government told that school they better have some blacks in that school the next school term, or they're gonna withdraw funds.
Right.
And I think that was Kennedy, and they withdrew funds. And for them white folks let somebody walk in that schoolhouse, that was a beautiful schoolhouse. They tore it down. They did. They tore that shit down. A nice, big, beautiful building on
Yeah.
acres, man, in the middle of the city. You couldn't miss it. They tore it down. And people begged them not to tear that historical building down, but them racist ass people tore that damn building down
That wasn't the only one.
because they didn't want no black folks going to it. That's the only reason they did it. They wouldn't let the historical society buy it. They said, no, ain't no ends going to this. That's how bad it is. But my confession is two things. I always try and ask for or try and give clarity where you have no doubt about what I just said to you, or about you have no doubt about what I just asked you. And you know it happened. That's one thing. And the second thing is, even though I'm as clear as I can be, sometimes there's guidance that go with the clarity.
Right.
So when you give orders, my friend, or when you try and improve your conversation skills, two things. You want to make sure what you got about to say is clear. And you want to make sure that you don't abandon your order, your guidance, your clarity. You got to give guidance. So get in there and expect your communication to be understood. And sometimes you can ask them to repeat back what you said. But when you say that, you have to say, please don't think I'm trying to insult your intelligence. Because
Right.
I'm not. Now, this is what I always say. So if I come over to you and say, hey, Clark, can I get you to go fill up the tank in my car? And you say, yeah, I got you. And you say, I ain't doing that shit. What the hell wrong with you? You losing your damn mind. And I said, Clark, do you mind if I ask you a question? I asked you to go up and put the gas in the car, and you said no. Do you mind if I ask you why did you say no? So what are you thinking when I say, I do you mind if I ask you why did you say no?
You
Huh?
asking him?
Huh?
Who you asking that to?
I'm asking you.
I hadn't said no.
But I'm hypothetically making a
Oh,
situation. So you said no, and then I said, do you mind if I ask you why did you say no?
what makes you think I want to go put gas in your car?
Because I'd ask you to, but if you did do it, would you?
I'm just trying to figure out why you even asked me to go do it.
I just want you to answer the question. That's it.
What's the question?
You're making me laugh. Put some gas in the car. Would you go put some gas in the car? So I asked you, would you go put some gas in the car? You said, hell to the no. And I said, well, hey, Clark, why? Can you mind if I ask you why we don't go put gas in the car? I
My,
would,
I would say, well, why can't you put gas in your own car?
and I'm gonna say, well, brother, I asked you to put gas in my car. I'm just asking you, why did you say you
But
wouldn't
why?
do it?
But why would you go back and forth?
Because I'm gonna show you.
Okay. And I said, well, why do you need me to put gas in your car?
And what I said, because I had asked you to put it in there, and I was hoping that you'd help me out. So would you put gas in my car?
You want me to pay for it?
Yeah, and you gonna keep saying no though, right? Yeah.
No, I mean, if
You
you want me to pay for it, or you just want me to go put the
want you to
gas in?
pay for it, and I want you to put it in the car.
Are you gonna pay for it?
Nah, you gonna pay. Would you pay for the gas to go in my car?
But that ain't what you asked me. You asked me to
Put it
would I
in
go
the
put some?
engine for it.
Well, how much it take to fill up your car?
I don't know.
You use regular or unleaded?
You got like 51 questions. You gonna make me go put gas in my own car?
I mean, what service station do you use?
I don't care about. We'll get to the point. You be the last 51 questions.
and,
I'll be saying, you know what?
and you know the purpose of the question is because I don't want to go put gas in your car.
Right? You went to the wrong gas station. Wrong kind of gas. I don't use that kind.
Yeah, I don't use that can. What did you put? Regular or
See,
Supreme or?
let me go and get to the point. You have me going all day. The question is, would you put gas in my car? You said no. So my
No,
question
I
is,
never said no.
huh?
I never said no.
But I'm just saying this is how a scenario would go.
No, the scenario could go like I just presented it.
Like, yeah, you presented a perfect scenario.
You know, like I never said I wouldn't. I
But
just
in order for me to get the lesson I'm trying to
oh
give,
okay. Yeah, I'll go put gas in your
it has
car.
to be a basic conversation where you are not aware that you and I are trying to get there to a conversation of nothing. So I asked you a question. You said no. So my next question is, you mind if I ask you why wouldn't you do it? You're gonna either tell me I don't mind. So and I'm gonna say then, Claude, why did you say no?
But why you get to ask the questions and I can't ask the
You
questions?
can ask questions.
No, you just told me that.
No, I said for us to keep it simple as
No,
K
but you asking questions.
KISS.
I just preempted your questions.
Yeah, your questions were great, but if
But why do you get to ask
you
the questions?
create my question for the next 2 hours,
But why do you get to ask the questions?
because I'm giving a lesson. The lesson, this is a lesson. I'm telling you, this is a lesson in communication.
Right.
I'm asking somebody a question, right? They come back to me and say, no, that's the answer. A
Okay,
hard,
no. A hard no.
yeah. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say, just forget about it. No, I'm going to say, well,
Well,
I can
you gonna
another
say
action, but I'm going
no.
to say to you,
Why don't you just say, you could say okay.
you don't learn anything what I'm trying to teach you if you say okay.
Well, what are you trying to
If
teach?
you say okay, we good. But if you say
No,
no,
no. If you say okay, if I say no and you
you
say
say
okay,
okay, we
we
good.
we good.
Yeah.
But you still asking questions.
I ain't gotta ask you nothing if you said okay. I only gotta ask you questions if you say no.
I said no. Why
And
you still got questions?
yeah, I said, you mind if I ask why? There was
Yes.
no problem with me asking the questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Question was, I asked you to do something and you said no. And I just wanted to know why.
Why?
And I said, do you mind? That's the key. Do
Oh,
you
okay.
mind if I ask you a question? Or if you can tell me why you said no.
Okay.
Or if this is, I didn't say it. If you would, or if you didn't say no, would you go and put gas in my car?
I'm just saying that for the sake of this communication course,
Mhm.
if I said no, you said, would you go? Would you mind going and putting gas in in my car?
I said, why?
Why wouldn't I?
Mhm.
Because I don't want to.
So that's where I'm trying to go right there. What if you wanted to? Would you then go put gas in my car? Listen to what I said. I said, what if you wanted to? Would you then go put gas in my car?
If I wanted to, yeah.
Okay, so let's just assume you would put gas in my car So I'm gonna ask you the question again. Oh, and you tell me what you say. So, Clark, would you put some gas in my car?
No.
That's what I want to do. Well, I'm just saying that little period of silence there. That's a key period. That's key.
What do they call that period of silence? I'm sure
Sweat block.
academic there's an
We call it
academic term for it.
because what's happening is the tension is rising. Because I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, so we you'll know exactly what I just tried to do. This is a lesson I learned through a Lead the Boys sales training.
Hmm.
You're gonna ask for the close 6 times, 6 times on everything you ask for to get it.
6 times?
And you might not get it then, but the minimum for you to change a no to a yes is 6 times.
6 times.
That's
So
the key, changing a no to a yes. See, if I keep going on with putting gas in the car, you say, just give me the damn keys. I'm tired of
oh,
talking.
okay.
It
Is that
shouldn't happen.
is that the same thing for door to door sales or any kind of sales?
I think so too. It all boils around the 6 times for people to change their mind and say yes. They always do.
Hmm.
Always. I mean, that's how I got so good at it. I was putting 5, 6 people in the military a month.
Yeah, you were pretty good.
And I was drinking too. I was drinking some yak. I was putting them down.
You was convincing the
Hmm?
people, the parents, or you was convincing,
Parents and kids lying like a mofo. I ain't give a damn. I'm putting you in the army one way or another.
and you lied.
I ain't put them people. No, I ain't lying. But
Yeah,
no.
you did. Did you exaggerate?
I started slamming it. But paperwork is key. If you know how to do paperwork, you good. And my paperwork is always straight.
Did
You know,
anybody ever come back to you and say you lied to me?
I've had
Nobody.
privates come back and congratulate me, thank me for putting them in the army because they pay off their college tuitions and stuff like that.
Right.
But I put a lot of folks in there. I was number 2 recruiter
Well,
in Boston Recruiting Battalion,
where were you at?
Worcester,
Oh, that's where you were at.
Worcester,
How
Massachusetts.
did you got a sign up there?
And I asked them specifically from Texas to North Carolina. That's what I want.
And they sent you to Massachusetts.
Yep.
Now, what was the ratio of black to white that you were recruiting?
95% white. I'd say 1% black and 4% African. That's it. It was some other ones in there somewhere, but I thought it was about like that.
Wow.
Any messages in here? I'm sorry I didn't miss you. I've been missing y'all messages in TikTok. I apologize for that. I will be getting back to you. I'm gonna go back through every message, and I promise you I will answer.
Well, we've
So
been on. We've been on for almost 2 hours.
yeah, this is about to close. Yeah, it's been a great conversation, Claude, and I enjoy every
It's a
minute.
good conversation on conversations
Mm-hmm.
on
We
how
be
to
I
communication. I mean, good conversation on communication.
It's great, because I learn and people learn and they get better, and they can go back to this recording at any time and learn the things we've talked about today. We talked about clarity and guidance. Those are the 2 things you have to have in communication. And the worst thing you can do is wait to contribute when you're in a meeting. Don't wait. If you get an idea, jump in it. Because most of the time, you wait, then I don't know if I got the right answer. I don't know if I'm thinking the right thing.
You start doubting.
I should ask these people that. You're doubting yourself. You think, I'm going to ask a stupid question.
Well,
But
you definitely don't want to be first.
what do you mean? Yeah, you don't want to be first, but you have to stand out, because if you don't stand out, stand under. Yeah, they don't notice you. Then they have to notice you so you can get your promotion. If you don't get noticed, you don't get promoted. And if you don't talk,
Well,
communicate.
we need to have another show because I think race does play a, even today still plays a part in how people participate in conversations.
So we talk about race and stuff next
Well,
week.
I'm just saying that just from my own experiences,
I can build, we can build some information on that.
man, maybe we can get some feedback from the audience on that perspective of
Mm-hmm.
communication, how
Get some
big a part race plays in communication.
trying to find a question. And they coming too. I just see 4 new messages.
How many?
I just got 4 new messages. I don't see them yet. So TikTok, I'm looking.
Chat box don't work. How do you get chat to work?
Let's see. It might be working right now. Let's see.
It's on. I typed in it, but I don't know where it goes.
Where'd it go? Right here. There it is. That's a chat box. The only person can see the chat box is you, right?
Yeah, just me and you.
And then you got private. And then you got notes. You see the note box?
Uh-uh.
Now I got
It's,
five.
it's a little red box.
The note box would be the one down there look like a clipboard.
Yeah, I got it, but I click on it, it doesn't do anything.
That one should open. You see where it says add notes here? Look inside that rectangle, that dark.
When I click on it, comes up to us, world, sports, tech, fashion, next.
Oh, you got more than I got on your screen. I just got an empty box. You got this thing called a teleprompter.
Mm-mm.
There's a lot in there that you can use.
Well, I'll figure it out later.
Well, all right, my brother.
All right, brother. Good
Been a
show.
pleasure. Thank you for your closing remarks. I look forward to next week.
Same here,
We'll
brother.
dive into the color of communication.
All right. See you
Ah,
then.
that ought to be nice, right? I'm gonna look for some black words, a black dictionary or something.
I
With
got
all
a.
that stuff in it. I'll try to pull out at least 20 words that we use. Only, only
Yeah,
use in our culture.
all right. See you next week.
All right, take care. Ladies and gentlemen, this is BNN 247, the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting live every single Sunday at 3:30 p.m. And we go until we get tired. So thank you all for being part of our show today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to us at BNN 247 YouTube. I really do appreciate that. TikTok, I really do appreciate all the hearts and stuff you send me. I'm really appreciative for that. I'm going to go back through and check your questions here shortly. Also, thank you for everything you've done in 2025 to make us who we are. So with that, take care, and I will see you next Sunday at 3:30 p.m. This is BNN 247 out.